Welcome to another episode of the OC Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, we will continue on with our watching of the OC Season 1, Episode 15 of the Third Wheel. As always, I am joined by my partner here, Kenzie. How are you today?
I'm good. I can't believe I survived an episode with this much Oliver.
There is a lot of Oliver in this episode.
Ugh. It's like I hate to watch him, but I cannot stop, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Like this episode was weird to me. I don't know. It was a good episode, but there was just, I would say it was kind of lackluster a little bit. You know what I mean? But I think it's because,
I really like this episode.
I mean, I think it's good in some aspects, but I don't know. It was just a little weird to me, some of the aspects. Luke is extremely weird in this episode too.
I feel like Luke suffered a mental breakdown off screen.
That's why
I don't know what's going on.
I wasn't on the last episode.
Yeah, I don't know what happened,
but yeah. So it's a good episode. I just feel like, but I think what happens for me sometimes is the writers jam so much into like the last episode, the countdown. It was like, oh my god, this everything's built.
This
up.
was a breather one, but I felt like so much happened this episode.
Oh, absolutely. As always, before we dive into the episode and our thoughts and dissecting it piece by piece, we have to go over our brief synopsis here.
Oh, so, brief.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, it's not that brief, but so episode's obviously called The Third Wheel. I'm going to start dissecting. I'm going to throw in. It has a 7.8 rating on IMDb of 401 votes. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
Ryan doesn't know much about Oliver, Marissa's therapy friend, but he knows he doesn't like him. Yet, Ryan still assists Oliver when he runs into trouble with the law at the Rooney concert. I have a problem with this.
I didn't even know that was the end. It sounded like it was going to keep going.
No. Yeah, Ryan still assists Oliver when he runs into trouble with the...
And I was like, okay, and? Because since they're just going to give us the entire episode, why stop there?
I know. Like,
did they have to tell you in the description that Oliver gets into trouble?
Yeah. I don't understand why they could have been like, hey, he doesn't like him, okay? Then they go to a Rooney concert.
That's okay. If I wrote a description or a synopsis for this episode, I would be like, trouble ensues at a Rooney show with our core four and some others. I don't know.
Exactly. But the thing about it is, it's like, why do you have to say?
Yeah.
Like, again, if you're a first...
Why not be like, Luke plays the guitar and sings really loud?
So bad.
Like, just say everything if you're gonna say this much. I don't understand.
Or Chris.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It gives away a lot of what happens. I do love the recap real quick. We never really talk about the recap at the beginning of the episode, but I do love how it was just like a big F you to Oliver. You know what I mean? Because it's like...
So like, I was like getting ready to take notes. So I was like getting my stuff in order, and I was like, oh, it's going to be like a long recap, because I feel like the last couple have been really long, and it was just like bad things about Oliver, and that was it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. So for me, it was like, all right, sweet. That's awesome. All right. So obviously, everybody's trying to get their routine in the morning. Everybody's looking for that, which I have a question about, but I'll ask in a second. But apparently Haley has eaten the Cohens out of a house and a home.
Yeah. No bagels, no juice. She took the prized arts and leisure section.
Yes.
Of the paper.
Yeah.
Everyone one by one coming in for what they need, and it's gone.
Yeah. And my question, like, what's the Cohens? I mean, I understand everybody runs out of food, right? You know what I mean? But like, has she ate that? Like, this must be like
I think like the whole thing is like she put juice back that was pretty much empty. Like, just finish it off at that point. Like,
right. Oh, I hate that.
But then also like she didn't like replace anything. Like, if you finish stuff, you have to be like, hey guys, like, we're out of this. But instead, she's just like doesn't But the paper thing, I will just say, like, that's probably Seth's morning routine. You know, he's like 87, has a cup of coffee. Like,
Reads the Arts and Leisures and calls it a day.
it's pretty funny.
Obviously there's a sidebar with the Coens here. Something said, and then Ryan goes, all of her friends want to kick her ass. And then he goes, sorry for the language. I thought that was like quite adorable.
And then it was really funny because Sandy's like, why? Like, I want to kick her ass.
And then completely out of left field, you have Haley whistles and says, can you make me some coffee? Which I'm like,
bro, like, come on. Ridiculous.
Oh man, this is just it's fantastic. I just, you know, it's a hilarious opening because we see camaraderie there, right? You know what I mean? Like we see a camaraderie that we've never really, you know, we've seen, but like the four of them together, it's like, oh,
they are a family,
right? Exactly. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a family
cute
moment, and I really liked it and how they opened it up right there. And then, of course, we have the intro, and then we kick it off with Seth is upset.
Seth's a little jealous.
Of everybody.
Of everyone, honestly. Like, everyone. He's like, is Marissa in here? Why is Marissa not in here? Where's Marissa? He's like, you've been attached to Marissa. But I have a question about this. Because, so, New Year's happened, and now they're going back to school. I'm assuming this is their first day back.
Right.
Was he not hanging out with Anna the whole time?
Right, yeah, that's... Yeah, I don't...
Because he's like, Anna and I are taking it to the next level. And
right.
I'm like, so why are you so jealous and bent up that he's been with Marissa?
Exactly. Like, so basically you're accusing Ryan of basically being pussy whipped, right? You know what I mean? Like, he's...
But it's like, he clearly is also.
Right.
Like...
Because
if he's going to tell this girl that he's had a crush on since he was like 5, that he's going to go out with someone else instead of her.
Right. And he's emotionally distraught over it and needs to talk to Ryan about it, but he hasn't had the you haven't had the opportunity to talk to Ryan at all. Oh, and I would say you normally have, 5 to 6 days or so before you go back to school, sometimes a little bit longer. So you've had about 5 to 6 days, like you said, since New Year's
to go over this,
to talk about this. But,
and like, who goes over something this crucial, like in the morning before school?
I mean, he does say that this is like...
what time do they wake up? And what time do they go to school? Because, like, we never had, like, hours in between, but they have enough time to have breakfast, read the paper. Like, that's a Saturday thing. That's not a before-school thing.
Exactly. Like, for me, it's like you get up and you're on the... Like, for me, like, I was on the bus within, like, an hour.
Yeah, like, they're over here...
lollygagging around.
Crafts.
Obviously the big thing is, Anna, Seth, they want to tell Summer there's an issue. I do love, like, it's a funny moment because then Marissa walks in and kind of solidifies everything Seth had just said for like the past 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. But at least she's giving them a ride to school, which I still don't get because, like, they don't have an extra car, the Coens.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't buy it.
It's very weird. I love him, but I didn't think about it whenever you had said something, because like I didn't think about the whole like haven't Anna and Seth been hanging out. Obviously, he's still weird about the whole. He doesn't want to have a conversation with his girlfriend that he doesn't know how to tell his
ex-love interest.
Yes,
but it's weird because they should have just put together a plan together because like Anna's kind of friendly with Summer.
Right, exactly.
Honestly, they always pretend that Anna and Marissa are like super tight. They like hug each other and stuff. So why can't Marissa help?
Yeah, exactly. Right. You know what I mean? But maybe she's too busy with Ryan. We can't have that conversation. But I will say Anna and Seth are cute together, right? You know what I mean? Like
they're cute, but it hasn't come up yet. I think it's on the next episode, but they're like so similar. Yes. And like that can get a little stale.
Yeah, it gets
too similar.
It gets a little weird. So let me transition to our good friend Jimmy and Sandy, who are just chilling.
What did they not have jobs? What about the job that Sandy?
And doesn't Sandy have the new gig? You know what I mean? He's got the new gig.
Yeah, like where he has to be in an office.
Right. And we've not seen it since Christmas or since Thanksgiving.
Since the whole thing with Caleb.
Which was like Thanksgiving, right?
They solved it at the Christmas party.
Oh, yeah.
But like I don't even
since
think
then.
he went to the office that episode.
So they're obviously talking about what Jimmy Cooper can do for jobs. Surprise, surprise, nobody wants to hire him, considering they're in a city where he basically
I
stole
love
everybody's money.
Sandy's joke. He's like, just put your clients as references. And he's like, oh, you can't. You stole their money.
Sandy's
At
gonna give
least, like, Jimmy's in a place where he can laugh about it, I guess.
exactly
Like,
right.
I was just talking about this today, like, because I'm, like, a notoriously picky eater, and I'm like, it's okay, because I tell everyone I'm a picky eater. It's like,
Right.
Jimmy, it's okay that Jimmy stole money from his clients, because he tells everyone, I stole money from my clients.
Exactly. It's
If you're
pretty.
gonna have this as a quality, just be upfront about it. No, whatever. Just fine. I mean, it's not fine, but, like,
No.
this is the way to go about it.
Yeah, exactly. I do love you. Like, he's like, I remember he's like asking him some previous jobs, and he was like, well, there we go, Jimmy Cooper Landscaping.
Yeah, he's like, you mowed lawns as a kid? Okay.
Oh,
So
it's
funny.
so funny. He's like, I don't have many references. That's hilarious. Haley, Jimmy, this is weird. And it's weird throughout the entire episode. Um, yes, very much so. Like, I just don't. I'm not comfortable with this relationship with these two, or like they have weird chemistry. But they're also the way Sandy kind of puts it to them about how basically they're, neither one of them have jobs and neither one of them have a life. Neither one of them have a future right now. Like it's
Anything. No prospects.
and then we come back with, okay, so I have a question. Kirsten's putting away groceries. Okay. Now I saw this and rewound it because I wanted to make sure my eyes are right. The bananas. I know this is really pretty.
Wait, the brown ones?
Yes. Like,
So,
didn't she just go to the grocery store?
maybe she bought them because, like, my husband prefers, like, pretty brown bananas. Maybe she just went through. But it's weird that it's, like, the whole bunch because,
Right.
like, when I have to find him bananas, I have to, like, peel off. Like, sorry to anyone listening that goes to the grocery store and buys bananas after me. But I have to, like, peel off and get the ones I want based on ripeness.
Yeah, for me, like I like the ones that they take.
But I've never seen anyone in that house eat a banana.
No, I have not. I have
Everything else she's been pulling out, like, we've seen
Normal.
people eating. But,
Yeah.
like, normally, like, if you're, like, a banana eater, like, you're seen eating one. I've never seen anyone. And that's a lot of bananas. It was, like, two bunches.
That was my next. Yeah, that was my next statement. There was a
That's
lot.
like a lot of ripe bananas.
Exactly. Like, those have to be eaten in a certain time, right? You know what I mean? They have to be eaten
but, like, both bunches,
right.
which alludes to the fact that they would all be banana eaters, but then, like, why have we not seen any of them eating bananas?
I've seen them eat a bunch of bagels, especially in the morning. Like, we've seen them in the morning eating quite often. Cereal or bagels.
Well, actually, about that. So, Sandy and Seth have eaten bagels, but Kirsten and Ryan have been on the cereal side.
Right. So, but we've never seen any bananas.
Never bananas.
And ripe bananas aren't good in cereal. Like, I like putting banana in my cereal, but I don't really like the. Yeah.
Not a banana person.
Maybe they were gonna make banana bread. That's.
Did you see bread?
You don't need bread to cook banana bread.
No, but I mean, like, have you, like, they didn't buy anything else to go with it.
You need flour, bananas.
Do you think? Okay, Kirsten can't do anything.
No, that's what I know. That's
making bread.
Yeah, that's no. I mean, yeah. I mean, that was going to be my next statement. Is nobody cooks in this house ever, even though I mean, except
Sandy cooks. Sandy grills.
Yes. Awkwardly grills at that. Luke is back.
Luke is back. He's wearing slides
To school.
We couldn't wear flip-flops to school.
Me neither.
But Luke can.
Not only that, Luke is also back with a slash tire.
I like that he is like, I have a flat tire. And then Ryan's like, do you need help? And he's like, it's slashed. Like, he wants him to know, like, he knows it was slashed.
Yeah.
But it's fine. But then Ryan's like nice to him and like, hey, just get out of here. Don't let them see you fix it. Come with me. Intruding on some Seth and Ryan time.
Yes. Real quick, you did miss something. When Luke said, you think I'm getting what I deserve? And Ryan hits him back with, definitely.
Pretty funny.
Yes.
I mean, he is, but to me, like, I don't know. I feel like when it's something with your family, it's so different. Like, it should be off limits. Kids are turds, let me tell you.
Yeah. So exactly. And then, of course, like you said, Seth and Ryan time turns into Seth, Ryan, and Luke time. Seth is very upset, pulls Ryan aside. My favorite part is whenever he like says, "All right, just and then he repeats to himself like 3 times, like he's going to say it to convince himself.
Luke's got a gay dad.
Luke has a gay dad. So funny.
It's pretty funny. It's
It-
so Seth. I cannot believe though that Seth has a football video game.
I couldn't believe that either. Maybe, well, we don't know what they got for Christmas. We didn't see the old Christmas presents or anything like that. But
Come on, that's not a
it's like a Ryan thing. It wouldn't even seem like a Ryan thing either. Actually,
no, that's the thing.
Yeah,
it's weird. Doesn't make any sense.
All right, so during this time, it seems like this is at nightish. I guess we really didn't
post school evening time.
Yes, so middle of the week is what I'm assuming. You know what I mean? Like middle of the week.
It's so weird. At the beginning of the episode, I thought it was like a Monday, like the first day back, but then they're talking about going to a concert and then it's like the weekend. It's very weird.
Yeah, I had no clue or understanding of what this of what day it was, because Marissa gets a phone call from Oliver. Or no, sorry. Marissa's with Oliver eating dinner.
Yeah, which is very weird because like just weird. I don't get this whole thing because her and Ryan were like, we should spend tonight apart. And then all of a sudden she's hanging out with Oliver.
Right.
Very quick.
Yes, very weird. Calls Ryan, says, "Hey, come over here and eat all this fancy food with us." And then he goes in there, and now Seth, Ryan time has turned from Seth, Ryan, Luke time to Ryan, Seth, Luke, Oliver, Marissa time.
It's pretty funny, but now it's like, why didn't he just invite Anna?
Right. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Very much. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point, because at this particular moment, it would be definitely like that. So question for you is this. Wouldn't you realize, if you're Marissa, kind of the games that Oliver is playing right now?
So I've rewatched the OC 6 or 7 times in my life. Yes. I do not understand how she doesn't see it. Right. Like, I understand maybe at first, but like, because he's like leading her to believe that he's living this like honest, sober, clear life.
Right.
But like 3 times of Natalie not showing up.
Just not being there.
Call for alert. Like, 2, I don't know. He's always alone, and like, it's weird. Like, I don't know. He's so available. Like, how does she not see through it?
Right. And he's always very flirtatious. You know what I mean? He's always kind of like, he's always in her bubble too. You notice that? Like he's throughout like, this whole entire episode, you notice that.
He like, not only like does he like hover, but he like, I don't know, he actively inserts himself into every situation. Like, he feeds her when she's on the phone with Ryan. Right. And it's like so uncomfortable. Like, yes. I don't know. I feel like being fed by someone that's like, I don't know. I feel like that's like an alert that someone is interested in you.
Right. Yeah. If it's 2 girls, it's whatever. 2 guys. Well, I mean, depending on the circumstances. But if like it's your friend saying, "Hey, try this."
If it's like your friend, but and it's like established that it's only a friend. Yeah, it's fine. But
this
like,
guy is
if
definitely
it's
not
like
established.
Yeah, like I don't know.
And like even whenever they get there, they're like, Ryan's awkwardly sitting away from.
Yeah, so I have a lot of comments about this throughout the entire episode, that Ryan is always super far from Marissa, and Marissa's always really close to Oliver. But it's not in the sense like, you know, when like you go out to, I guess not anymore, but before COVID, you go out to eat, and like you don't want to sit next to the person you're with, like if it's just 2 of you. Right. You want them across from you so you can talk to them. But then if you're in a group setting, you probably sit next to your significant other. Right. So that way, like, you're talking to whoever is, like, the visitor in the situation.
Exactly.
But I'm like, in this situation, she's been with Oliver the whole time, like, sit next to Ryan.
Yes.
It's weird. It's weird.
100%.
Also, like, They don't have he's in a penthouse. Don't they have a dining room table?
Exactly. Like I don't understand. Like I don't understand.
Also, my favorite part of the entire sequence of this is Ryan does not want Seth to like Oliver.
No.
He's like, no. And he keeps giving him these looks like, stop. And it's so funny to me. Like,
it blows my mind. It blows my mind because if you think about it, you're at this particular moment, it's like, I feel like Ryan, he can't say too much to Marissa because he doesn't know what to say, even though I feel like he really could say, be like, hey, this Oliver guy. But
not like he could say
so
something
weird.
like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
and like, I just feel like it happens on a lot of teen dramas where it's like the girl like automatically doesn't like whoever like her best friends, like new ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend is or whatever.
Right, yeah.
But Marissa's so weird. Like, she's openly friends with Anna.
Yes.
Even though Summer
which we don't understand. Yeah.
I don't understand it.
No.
Like, I understand they're both nice or whatever, but it's just like weird. Like, there's no explanation, especially like if Ryan had a new girlfriend, I bet you anything Marissa would tell Summer, like, don't like that girl.
It's a no. 100%.
And then, like, I just feel like Marissa and Summer's relationship is very weird.
Yes.
But I feel like Seth would be like on board with Ryan if Ryan was like, don't like this guy. He'd be like, okay. Because they're like, he's like obsessed with him. So like, I just don't get it. But I also like that Luke is just like such a clueless idiot. He's like, I love eating with my hands. Like, it's just so bizarre.
Luke is just the strangest character throughout this entire episode. To just
It's a journey, man. It's a journey.
It's so much. We get a little bit more of Seth and Ryan time, which is very quick and very just out of the wall. It's kind of funny because Seth is dissecting the ways of how he can tell Summer, which I mean, at one point he says a carrier pigeon, and I'm just like,
it's so funny.
And then just Ryan just calls him flat out. He says you're a coward. Let's see here. Yeah.
The look that he brings up, he's like, I'm gonna BBM her. I'm like, you guys don't have Blackberries. I've never seen any of them on a Blackberry.
Exactly. So they talk about Oliver here, the guy that wants to kiss your girlfriend. Oh, Haley comes in. Sorry.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, I love her. She's so direct with the everything that Ryan feels about Oliver and Marissa. Haley just comes out and says, like, point blank, doesn't hide a feeling or anything like that, says exactly what he's feeling. Basically, you know, the guy that went to kiss your girlfriend.
It's so funny she's never let it go. She's like, from New Year's? Like, that guy? That Oliver?
Yes, exactly. Like, she knows. Like,
she's like, Oliver?
Yes.
So funny.
And she's like, we don't have, he's like, he says, we don't have anything in common. She goes, except your girlfriend.
It's so funny. It's such a good burn.
It really is. And then, of course, we transition. Obviously, we're going to have, I think we're introduced, like, at some point, I guess, I think I missed it maybe, but Haley and Jimmy are going to have an outing together to recap. And
yeah, they said that when Kirsten was unloading the groceries.
Yes. So at this particular moment, they feel like it's their night. They have a night to the house to themselves. And I love, I'm way far ahead. Hold on. I do love whenever Sandy goes, cluttering up the TiVo, a clear TiVo
oh my God,
a clear mind.
He gets so worked up over the TiVo. Also, side note about this whole thing, they're unloading a lot of gardening tools, soil, etc. Nowhere are they doing their own landscaping on this house.
Oh, absolutely not.
So why are they buying all this miracle soil? Get out of here.
Exactly. And then, of course, Kirsten wants Sandy to figure out what's going on with Rooney, right? You know what I mean? Oh
my gosh, she's like, is it part of the satanic panic? It's so funny.
It's so good. You have Sandy listening. Seth's playing it on his computer. right?
Oh my God, and Sandy dancing. It's so great. It's so epic. I love it so much. He's like,
He's dancing like a dad, right? You know what I mean?
I love it.
Totally a dad moment. And then he said he almost wiped out a half dozen 13-year-olds. And the fact that it was because of the YMCA is the greatest.
It's so good.
Oh my goodness. It's just me visualizing. I really wish that this particular moment would have had Sandy break into the YMCA or like half of it until like Seth would
It
have
would
been
be
like,
really
Dad,
funny.
stop. Like, Dad,
Oh
stop.
my
Like,
gosh.
you're
I
embarrassing
need
me
to
here.
see Peter Gallagher do the YMCA.
Yeah, I need this in my life. Peter Gallagher, please come on our show just to
Please.
do the YMCA.
Then you can peace out.
And then you can leave. We'll invite you to Zoom. You go live and you do the YMCA. And
And then
I'm
that's
starting a
it.
petition. I've decided that this is completely off topic. I'm literally going to comment on Peter Gallagher's every Instagram photo that he posts and say, please come on Kenzie and I's show until we get him on our show. So if you're listening to our show right now and you're on Twitter or Instagram, please help
Get
us
him.
get Peter Gallagher on the OC podcast
The
because
king of eyebrows.
it would be just amazing. So that is, if you're listening to us, you're the millions of people that listen to us each and every week, please do us a favor and tweet at Peter Gallagher, Instagram Peter Gallagher, and say, please come on the OC show. You would love to hear him on it. Back to him asking, is anyone going to be doing drugs?
And then he's like, yes, I hope so. Otherwise, it's lame. And then he revises it. Is anyone named Seth Cohen going to be doing drugs?
It's hilarious.
This is like the outfit that I always remember Seth in. I think because later in the series when he does a comic book, this is the outfit he draws himself in. But
Yeah.
this like jacket, white shirt, and skinny tie combo is always how I picture Seth in my mind.
So good.
But I love Marissa's crimped her hair for a rock show.
Yes.
She did something different to it. And then she's also wearing a t-shirt that says rock star.
Yes.
Because they probably couldn't get a band shirt.
Right, yeah, because they would probably, yeah, I would 100% agree.
So it has to say rock stars.
I need to rewind for just a hair. Okay.
Uh-oh.
You missed a very good moment here between Sandy and Seth. So you and Summer finally had to talk almost several times. And then Sandy goes, Seth, and then Seth goes, Father. And then he looks at him and goes, the best advice I can give you is from Steven Seagal, which he says it in the most strangest way I've ever heard.
It's so weird.
I can't even I was trying to prep myself to say it. He's like Seagal or something. I don't know. But I just remembered writing down, LOL, he says it so weird. And then he talks about Steven Seagal's Hard to Kill, which is hilarious that he just referenced. This would be a movie that my dad would reference and try to say, the anticipation of death is far worse than death itself, which then, of course, Summer hits him back with, so you're basically going to tell me Summer's going to kill me, which is, yes, very much so. Okay, so, yes. And then, of course, he goes, can you get going now? I want to have alone time with your mom. And then Seth goes, visual I didn't want before leaving. And then,
he's like, your mom's a hottie.
Exactly. Loved it. But yes, okay, so now back to the concert here. They can't get into it. Oliver is nowhere to... So the communication here, again, very sketchy.
This is what's so funny, because he's like, let me BBM Summer tell her about Anna, but none of them have cell phones to text and be like, I'm on my way. But it just proves that Oliver is lying. But I just love how aggressive the person at the door is. Like, she doesn't look over the list. They're like, what's your name? And she's like, oh, we're here with Oliver Trask. And she doesn't even look. She's like, never heard of him. Don't know who an Oliver Trask is. Like, so aggressive. She does not know who Oliver Trask is.
Much, yes.
It's, like, so funny to me because I kind of really appreciate it. But Anna and Seth are so cute in the background while all this is happening.
Yes.
And then Summer shows up. So they back away from each other really fast.
Yes.
And then
very interesting moment.
I like that they just full-blown walk away out of the concert and then go to the back for some reason. Because like when you park in the front,
yes,
or like the side, why would you park in the back? And they didn't show any other cars back there. So I don't know where they were going. But they stumble into Oliver, who's like, didn't I tell you the back? And Ryan is like, absolutely not. You did not.
Straight out. Straight out way.
And
but nobody
everyone
else
gives
cares.
Ryan a dirty look. It's
Right.
so funny. They're like, but we found him. So he's clearly not lying.
Ryan's excited because they're leaving, right?
Yeah. He's like, fuck Oliver. And then they find Oliver, so they're not leaving. And then the band shows up, and Luke delivers the line of the episode, "Which one is Rooney?"
That's so funny.
And he like says it really loud, and then Summer and Anna are like, all of them. They're all Rooney. It's hilarious.
Oh, so good. And then of course now we transition to Sandy and Kirsten getting ready to think that they're gonna watch some television tonight. Just have a,
She's like, should we watch TV? Should we go to the hot tub? Should we order food? Like,
Right.
What should we do with our free time?
Right.
And
which I find very strange. Okay, they have 2 adult style kids that live in their house.
Yeah, like there's no way they're never alone. Like,
exactly, especially in that house.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was gonna bring up. Like, their house is so big. Like, they were walking in that hallway, and I'm like, damn. Like, I want a hallway. Like, I hate living in an apartment. I want that much space. And like, other point is Ryan lives literally outside of the house in a different literal house.
Exactly.
Which, like, my favorite thing about this is, like, they made up the guest room for Haley. And I'm like, so why isn't Ryan just in the guest room? Like, why isn't that Ryan's room? Why is Ryan's room the pool house?
It never doesn't make it, because everybody shows up and goes to the pool house. So it's like, you have that room open in case anybody just drops by and says hi.
But they're interrupted on their way to, I don't know. Also, I don't understand, like, if I had free time, I would plan it out. So, like, I'm not, like, wasting my free time. Like, what should I do?
Because the kids are going to be home at some point, right? You know what I mean?
So I don't get it.
Have already been ordered, right?
Yeah, it's very weird. Because not only do they have to figure out what food they're going to order.
Right.
Like, from where, they have to put together their order and then place the order and then wait for it to get delivered.
Right. So you're looking at least an hour and a half, especially out there. You know what I mean? California. Yeah.
But
board game night
with Jimmy and Haley.
So much fun.
Just really uncomfortable. But what is Jimmy and Haley's age gap? Have they ever said how young Haley is in comparison to Kirsten?
What is cute? Yeah, I don't think so. I would assume, I would say at least 5 to 7 years.
Now I can't stop picturing someone I dating my little sister because we're 6 years apart. Uncomfortable. I won't lie to you. It's only uncomfortable because, like, he's been around her entire life, and they already alluded to the whole he used to babysit her thing, and I'm like, that's a little creepy.
And the fact that he's madly in love with her sister.
But you know, some people marry someone's, like, siblings. They can keep an eye on the other person. I see this as a Jimmy move on Kirsten still.
Oh goodness.
But
Luke is literally the worst singer ever.
I like Luke's confidence, though.
Yes.
Like, I need to know, like, how Oliver got into this backstage situation. Because he asked the guy, he's like, can I pick up this guitar? And he's like, yeah. And then he hands it to Luke. And I'm like, if I were that guy who just tuned the guitar, I would assume the person who asked to play it is the one that's going to play it, but then he gives it to somebody else. It's really weird.
Yes.
But then Luke starts singing a song he wrote, and Oliver flees the scene.
Yep.
You know what? Common sense Oliver right there.
Yeah.
The most sensical thing Oliver does all night.
Exactly.
But I like that Seth goes, we don't really let him out normally.
Yeah. We start to see why.
But then Oliver goes, like, outside on a phone call, and he's, like, screaming.
Yep. And
we're made to believe it's about someone dropping something off, which we all know is drugs.
Yes, very much so.
Super uncomfortable.
Rewind real quick. Bad summer line. You checking out dudes again, Cohen?
Summer's personality is, like, really weird because, like, she's, like, so on edge, or, like, I don't know, rambunctious. I don't know. Like,
very weird.
She's like turned up to like 90 on like the intensity. And she doesn't even know what's coming yet.
No, has no clue. So now we have Anna, who then is like tired of Seth. She's gonna
Tell Summer.
100%. She's all in. I'm gonna tell Summer. It's done. It's over with. And then I guess it's girls' time in the bathroom. You know what I mean? I have to go to the bathroom, and then Summer's like,
me too.
And then,
but they take their drinks, which is very weird.
Yes.
Why would you take your drinks to the bathroom?
It's very weird. Follow up, back to game night,
which does not seem like it's going well.
Not at all.
At first, it looks like it is. Like Haley and Kirsten and Jimmy are bonding, and Sandy looks bored out of his mind because it's one of those like conversations where like you're on the outside of it, like you have nothing to do with it, and the people that are having it are having so much fun. You're just like twiddling your thumbs. But then Haley starts taking little jabs at not only Kirsten's job, but Kirsten's life and Kirsten's house that she's living in, and they go from little to large jabs.
Yes.
And everyone looks uncomfortable. Like Jimmy's like, what is going on?
Jimmy's just like the innocent bystander here. He's like, I don't want to have this conversation. I was just here from game night. Like,
yeah, he's like, I came here for the pizza Connect Four. I don't know why adults are playing Connect Four.
That's a different question for a different day, I guess.
Haley is a brat, and Sandy 100%. Calls her out on it, and is like, do not disrespect my wife in my house, in her house, her job that pays for everything here.
Yes.
And he's like calling her a freeloader, being like, we all know what you're here for.
Yeah.
And Haley knocks over everything and storms off.
Like a 2-year-old.
That's Haley.
Yes. Kirsten's a little upset.
I think she's upset that like Sandy did that.
Right.
You know, like it's not Sandy's place, but Sandy was just like, enough. Like this has gone on for what we're led to believe is weeks.
Right.
And this is after she did all that stuff to their house. Like,
right. So exactly. Like when that happened, Sandy just took himself out of the picture.
Yeah. But now he's like, come on, like you're not handling it. And now she's like attacking you.
Yeah. I didn't see any problems with what happened here. Anna and Summer now are bonding over Golden Girls. As
they should.
Yes, I mean,
I love the Golden Girls.
Golden Girls are fantastic.
I wonder, Summer said she's Blanche, and then Anna said she's Rose, which makes no sense. Anna's definitely a Dorothy.
Definitely.
Yeah. Marissa's, I don't know. Maybe Marissa's Rose.
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. Marissa's not any of them. Marissa's boring. My favorite is Sophia, but whatever. But now she doesn't tell her.
Nope. Doesn't tell her.
So that's cool.
And then we transition to Haley and Jimmy.
Kissing! God. I don't think their age gap is inappropriate. I just think because he like babysat her, it makes it inappropriate.
Yeah.
And like, what transition? Like, what happened to make this transition? Because like, he's so in love with Kirsten.
Right.
And what happened to Rachel?
Just a few months. And Rachel just disappeared off the face of the earth.
I mean, that's fine. But
I will say Jimmy had a maturity moment.
He did.
He knows that he could have probably taken Haley to the crib, and they could have rendezvoused to his apartment. But I do feel like he showed a little bit of personal growth in this moment. But I will also say we transition to Oliver and Marissa together. So,
okay, this is another thing. Ryan is really far away from Marissa. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And Oliver's really close to Marissa.
Like he pulls her.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't see behind all these big buffoons or whatever he says. He pulls her. And Ryan just stands there like, question mark?
So weird. It's so weird. And Ryan just looks like so disinterested. So like, I understand when you're like somewhere you don't want to be, but like the thing is, it's like he's 1 out of 5 people basically that didn't want to be there. And I'm like, you kind of like, if you're 1 of 5 against something, like you got to roll with the majority, man. Like, and you're already there. Like, don't look so miserable. Like, just put in a little effort. Like, come on.
I've been to concerts. I've been to concerts with like my brother. My brother's like into like hardcore death metal, right? You know, scream. So I would go to concerts with him.
That makes,
like I would go and I would just like I would get into it just because like
but even then, if that was the music that they were at, I would kind of understand because it's like aggressive. But like Rooney's like not unpleasant music.
No, it's not like
even if you don't like it, it's not like hurting your ears or something.
No,
like,
no, absolutely not.
So it's like, I don't know. I think Ryan's being a little turd. I won't lie. Like Oliver's obviously king turd, but like, like
he's being a little.
Ryan needs to be like, come on, like man up. Like,
I love how you use that king turd. You know, you just threw a little Crown reference into the episode. I like it.
I can't stop. Oh my God. Oliver is Prince Charles. So I made a joke that Prince Charles is actually Nick Dunn from Gone Girl. Like he did kill his wife though.
Right.
But you know what? Oliver might be okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna rank like all the guys that are similar to Prince Charles, and they're all gonna be like Oliver. Oh my God.
Oliver again having a moment here. Ryan, Marissa, he kind of pulls her away, and Marissa's like weirdly says, "If you want to leave, just leave." You know what I mean?
I don't understand that. Like, I understand being mad at him for like not having fun, but be like, relax, like let go, like loosen up. You're here with all your friends, your girlfriend. Like,
instead of just saying, "Just screw it, you leave," I'm gonna go back over here with this dude over here that I've been with the entire night.
And then it's like that's proving Ryan being like a turd. Like that you're gonna go back with some other guy. Like
exactly.
He's in the right for being grumpy. Like he shouldn't be, but like he's in the right, and now you're just proving it.
Exactly.
Then we cut to another shining moment of Luke.
Singing out loudly, which is hilarious because like Chris Carmike is like a singer now.
Yeah. He's in Nashville.
Him and his wife like just released a song together. Insert plug of Chris Carmike's song, which I don't remember the name of.
But he was on that Nashville show. Like Honey Britain.
Yeah.
But I just love that he goes, "Go Rooney!" Like it's a sports concert. Like sports concert, like a sports event. He's like, "Go Rooney!" I'm like, what?
Seth hits him with the, you know who sings this song?
I think that Seth is like always like he's too witty. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. There's no need for him to be like, you're at a concert having fun, like, which I don't think you would be able to hear Luke that loud at a concert. You wouldn't be able to, right? You know what I mean?
But it's hilarious.
But it's funny. I mean, obviously it's enhanced for television. And then we transition to the big moment. The moment that Kenzie has been excited for this entire episode.
Oliver getting his ass beat. At first, Ryan's concerned when he sees this. He's like, oh my God, he's getting his ass handed to him. I need to step in. Yes. And then the guy's like, I'm a cop.
And Ryan's like,
he's like, oh my God, I'm on probation. Like,
right. Yeah. I don't know him.
But
he's trying to buy 3 grams of Coke from an undercover cop. Oh, Oliver, I thought you were clean.
It's brutal. But Ryan runs away, and it's to get help.
Yeah.
It's very nice of him.
Yeah. Ryan calls Sandy.
Which is a good call.
Very much a good call. Then we transition to Summer grilling Anna and Seth.
Because Anna comes up to Seth and is like, I didn't get to tell her. And Seth really loudly is like, you didn't tell her? And then Summer's like, tell me what?
And it's like,
just gonna say this for everyone. I don't know why any of you guys are in groups right now, but if you are and you're whispering about secrets, don't. You text the other person across from you if you're gonna say something you don't want someone else in the room to know. You don't announce it.
Exactly.
But further proving they do not have BBM.
Exactly.
But Summer's kind of, so at first she seems a little irritated, but then her psycho starts going off, and she's like, let's just hang out, guys. What are you guys doing right now? You guys want to hang out right now? And I'm like, oh my God, relax.
So weird. And then we transition to Sandy.
Being
to
the
save the
man.
day.
Saving the day.
Yet again. I love how he's got connections with everybody.
I like that they're like, it's from when he was a DA and like in the district attorney's office or whatever. But then I'm like, does he have a job right now? Like, I don't understand.
I don't understand.
But poor Sandy and Kirsten.
Yeah. Because they got the phone call right away. It was like Ryan's at the jail, I think, or whatever it was said. So they kind of automatically was like, oh God, like, oh no.
Gotta go.
All right. So I love the bonding moment between Sandy and Ryan. Very sweet there. You know what I mean?
Because it's like a callback to when they first met, and he's like, you did this, like you're a better person than this. Like,
yep.
It's very sweet.
And it was a grown moment for
Ryan.
You know what I mean?
Like look at what you're in a better situation, and like this could have been something bad for you, but you handled it the right way. And this just shows that someone can be in a bad situation with drugs and violence, and you can, if you're given the right tools and right people around you, you can be like Ryan.
Yeah. You have to be given the opportunity. And that's...
Ryan is given the right opportunities and put in a loving situation, and we get Ryan Atwood saving the day.
Yeah. Oliver has his Oscar moment is what I wrote down.
It has everything. He's got yelling, he's got crying, he's got tears that are like subtle and then transition into sobbing. He's got it all.
I've got no friends. I've got no family.
It's like in a like, you know, in Manchester by the Sea, it's like in like he has like his moment in one of those like offices where it's like to the side. It's like a serious conversation outside of a police station or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like it has all the trims of like being an Oscar clip. But it was probably like a Razzie Emmy show. You know? And not even an Emmy, like the opposite.
Oh my God.
This fucking guy. But I don't feel bad for Oliver. I don't care. Because I don't know. He's so phony. I can't.
Yeah, I can't either.
Like, I would have never talked to him in therapy. I don't know what Marissa's thinking. Also, who meets someone in the lobby of therapy?
And just becomes BFFs with him over
Tony Soprano. It doesn't end well, though.
No.
Neither does this, I guess.
No.
Further proving my point, don't meet someone in the lobby of therapy. We have two cases that it does not work out. Tony Soprano and Marissa Cooper.
Ryan, being sweet, picks him up, says, you got us, we're friends, blah, blah, blah. Very sweet. Very Ryan. Just a great moment.
And then
he says, you must like me a little to get me out. And Ryan goes, that was Sandy. What a burn.
Such a burn. It like doesn't last 2 seconds where he's like, I like you. Like
Marissa calls.
I just like have a lot of thoughts here. How did she not notice he was gone? And Oliver is the other thing.
Ryan, I figure she just thought left.
But what about Oliver?
That one I just don't understand. I didn't understand that.
But who was she with?
You didn't like look around like, hey.
Because she was like ignoring Summer.
Right.
And Summer even brought that up. She was like, can I stand with you and Anna, Seth? Because like Marissa's on a date.
Right.
Was she with Luke?
I have no clue.
They were both screaming, singing.
He answers the phone. Oliver looks, or he doesn't answer the phone yet. He looks at him and goes, are you going to tell her? He's
like, no, you are.
I was like, oh. Ryan's like, I'm not going to be the bad guy. Like, I'm not going to be the guy.
Like that's such a dad thing to do. Be like, you know what? You're in trouble. You're handling this.
Right. Are you going to tell mom? No.
No, you are. Like, he's been around Sandy too long.
Very much. Because it was like 2 quick burns, like back to back to back. He's like, you must really like me. No, that was Sandy. Phone rings. You gonna tell her? No, you are. Like,
It's so funny.
you,
But I
you,
hate that, like, you already know Marissa's gonna be like, it's a growing experience. Like,
yeah. Oh,
everyone stumbles. Like, shut up.
exactly. Yeah.
Not Oliver. Oliver's not really sober.
And
Oliver's
then
not really buying drugs. He's doing this to orchestrate this whole thing.
exactly. And then like Ryan is now, and he's got Ryan kind of hooked. You know what I mean? Like kind of.
Yeah, because
He
he's
has him
like, you
feeling
feel
bad.
bad for me.
Right. Because he does feel bad for him because he's been in that situation. No parents. Nobody cares
Nobody in
about
his
him.
corner.
Right. So yeah, he knew what he was doing in his Oscar moment. I get next moment, Sandy and Haley. Loved it. Love Sandy.
Sandy's so good at talking to everyone.
I need somebody like Sandy in my life that I can
Sandy
just
is like
go
the
to.
ultimate mediator. Like,
Yeah.
let's say you and somebody are like having a huge argument and you want like a third party to be there. Like, Sandy's definitely that person.
Yep.
I would like one of those in my life.
Exactly. Like he just brings it all together all the time, and I love it.
I love it. He's really good at like relating to everyone.
And I love it because like he's one of those people. It's like
He just went off on Haley, but now he's doing this, and he didn't have to.
Because you have those people, and you have those people like just normal people that are like really good to everybody, and everybody just like kind of takes and takes and takes, and you really don't know how to speak up. He's the opposite. Like he does it all. Like he will tell you
gives and gives and gives, but he also is like,
right. Hey, time out,
like,
Haley. You're talking shit about my wife.
He's gonna call you on your shit, but he's also gonna like fluff you up when you need
30 minutes later, I'm gonna tell you that, get your life together. I'll help you, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But
Sandy's also one of those people that he isn't just words, like he's like actions. Like, look what he did with Ryan, and like he didn't have to go do that with Oliver, but he did,
everything he's done with Jimmy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, and it's like he now knows that Jimmy made a move on his wife. But I like that he was like, I don't blame Jimmy. I'm like, what is going on? Like, but that's like what makes Sandy such a great character throughout the series, minus the Rebecca season. He doesn't just have good words and pep talks. Like he shows you, like, through your actions, you can also be there for somebody.
Exactly.
But I get really emotional at the next scene because I love seeing them all together. And I was like, what a chipper ending, like they're all hanging out. Like at the very first episode, the pilot, did you ever think that like Anna, Seth, Summer, Marissa, Ryan, and Luke would all be hanging out, eating, playing video games together?
Nope.
No. And you're like, what a happy ending, until the camera pans out and you see Oliver standing in the dark like a freak.
So weird.
Like, he's so creepy. I hate him so much. My husband came in the last like 2 seconds of this episode. He's like, oh, that fucker.
I love it.
I was like, because my husband and I, he watched it for the very first time, but we watched the entire series like 2-3 years ago. And it was really funny because, like, when like you're introducing someone to the show and Oliver shows up, I can't hide my anger for this fucking guy. And I was like, fuck this motherfucker. And he's like, who? Like, he's just in therapy. Like, relax. And I was like, I can't do it. And then I
see red, really, okay, honey? I see red, okay?
It's just very heartwarming to know that he also feels that way
exactly
about Oliver.
Right, so just comes in for 2 seconds and says, oh yeah, fuck that guy.
Like, it's just so funny. Even my dog starts barking. He's like, ah! Like, he's like, fuck this guy. But if you're new to the series, stay tuned for Oliver. Just stay fucking tuned. When this episode ended, it like popped up, like, do you want to watch the next one? And I saw like what the next one is, and it's the Palm Springs one. And I got so fucking irritated because I know all the bad shit that happens.
Oh God, that's so good. Yeah, that was really it. It was, first off, so Marissa and Ryan were awkwardly like making out on the couch together.
I just have
Summer sits right in between.
It's so
Seth
awkward.
and Anna, which was like, funny. And Luke is so loud.
So loud. They're like, he was standing too close to the speakers. I'm like, how close? Weird guy.
Yeah. So it was fantastic. It was a very nice ending, and then it was like, oh, Oliver. This guy. Yeah. So you got a fun fact for us?
Yeah, I have a really good fun fact.
Ooh, okay. I like it.
Rooney's in the episode, obviously. They go to Rooney's concert.
Mm-hmm.
One of the band members, Robert, his brother is Jason Schwartzman, who is in Phantom Planet, who sings the theme song to the show.
Oh.
Also, like, you know, Sofia Coppola's cousin, but like, whatever. Not keeping
who cares
tabs.
about I like that. That's a really good one. I like that a whole lot, actually. All right, so for me, our good friend Jeremy Reif on YouTube had one too. So he said, for the third wheel, here's a fun fact: the scene between Anna and Summer discussed the Golden Girls was based off of a conversation between Rachel and Samir would have off camera, so Jason Schwartz included it in the show.
That's so cute.
Right. I like that as well. I was like,
I like that as well because Haley and Jimmy were talking about the Golden Girls also, which means like it was like this big effort to like sneak the Golden Girls in.
Exactly.
But I would just say the Golden Girls is also streaming on Hulu, guys. So
is it really?
Yes, watch it. Tell us who your favorite Golden Girl is.
Yeah.
Who do you think? Okay. Who do you think Sandy is of the Golden Girls? I would say Sophia.
Yeah, totally, 100%. Yeah, 1,000%.
Jimmy is definitely Rose.
Yeah.
Kirsten is Dorothy for sure. Ooh, Caleb as Blanche. That would be hilarious. I grew up watching the Golden Girls with my mom, and like it's the same thing. Like, why do I relate to like a 70-year-old lady? Like, I don't know, but I hope when I retire, I'm 75, living in a house in Florida with 4 of my best friends.
Exactly.
That's the dream.
I mean, I should just end the episode just like that. But folks, do me a favor. Head on over to Twitter and give Kenzie a follow at Ken's Vanunu. Give myself a follow at Ricky Valera _. Thank you so much for continuing tuning in. Thank you for the comments and stuff. Each and every week, we got a super sweet comment last week that said, this is a great thing that I listen to every Monday after I get off work. And I was just like, oh my God, like that to me is what is super exciting about what Kenzie and I do about the show. And then the people that tune in each and every week, we really do appreciate it. Cause that means we just know you're following along with us. You're listening.
We love it.
And you're watching with us and you're critiquing with us. And it's amazing. So thank you for the continued support of this podcast. Kenzie and I we have a blast every week dissecting these episodes, except for when we talk about Oliver, because fuck him. But outside of that, if you ever want to just have a conversation with Kenzie, hop on over to Twitter, mention Oliver, and you'll just get a bunch of F-bombs. So thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.